Hey, welcome to part 5 of repairing the Sears Kenmore 148.1221 sewing machine. Alright, where I left off was we have to remove some extra parts. So we're going to be taking off this arm here, and underneath this blue dot, which I painted, is a set screw which you have to access from the bottom. So you got to turn the machine on its side. Once we get this off, we have to remove this spindle, which actually has a spring, a snap spring in here. So I'm going to have to use a dental tool to get that out. And then once we have that off, we can remove the whole zigzag regulator, and then we can finally get to the cam. Long process. All right. One thing I did notice was the set of screwdrivers I had were too short. So I had to go out and get this gigantic 9-inch long Sears Craftsman tool. I actually still have the tag because I just bought it this morning. So I got a 9-inch, and I can only find 3/16" blade, which is the this part. I'm using the 1/4 inch, but anyway, doesn't matter. So first part is to remove the little ring that sits on top, which just comes right off, and put that in a magnetic tray so you don't lose anything. Now we got to get this thing out. So first thing you need to do is take this little set screw. Maybe I can focus, get you in here a little bit better. Good. This little set screw here, you have to loosen this, okay? I'm not going to take it out all the way. I'm just going to loosen it because now I got to turn the machine onto its side. And I'm just going to move the camera for a second so this way I can get you set up so you can actually see underneath the machine and inside. Okay, and we're back. Now I have the machine turned onto its side, which you can probably see. I have it sitting where the needle part is, because this one you can do that. Now, here's what we're going to do. So I have this cheap little light, which I bought for my machine, that has a great little LED. Now I could stick it in the hole over here so you can actually see inside. Well, I see inside. Okay, now looking through the hole here, let me just find where's my camera lens? Here we go. Okay, got it. Oh, you can actually see it right away from here. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to put my finger exactly what you're looking at. This is the screw that we just loosened right here. That thing here is what we need to remove. Okay, so now you got to get an extremely long screwdriver, go all the way in there. Now this is going to need 2 hands, okay, because you have to turn the screw while at the same time stabilizing that blue part I labeled with your finger. So I'm going to be right back. All right, on second thought, that screw is not budging. So, looking at it again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this over the side. So here, which attaches this bar underneath here, runs up to your needle bar. Okay, so we're going to unbolt, or we're going to loosen the screw from here for the needle bar, and then these 2 screws here and here. And we're just going to take the whole mechanism off. So the first thing I have to do is I have to pull this whole thing off of the needle bar arm, I guess you want to call it. So hold on one second while I put you back in the stand. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to loosen this. Okay, and then this one was already loose because this machine was already taken apart when the original cracked cam came out, the cam gear. So now if I hold the needle bar and pull this back, I'm hoping you come off that. Yes, awesome sauce. Okay, so now hopefully this is loose enough. Maybe not. Okay. Let me get a screwdriver. Here we go. Maybe I can get in here and gently try to pry. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Oh, that sits in there. Oh, what do you know? Look at that. Okay. Wow. So we're learning together. Okay, so that little pin, that actually, there's a pin in there that sits in that little hole. Okay. Son of a gun. What do you know? All right, so maybe, do I even need to take this whole thing out? Good question. Let's see. Let me see if I can get my screwdriver underneath there and pry that up gently. She's kind of stuck. All right. All right, well, at least we got that part loose. Okay. I tried everything to get this out. It seems like the whole... Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Do I want to try to pry this up? Well, let me peek in here first with my light and see if I got any headway. Yes, it is coming up. Perfect. Okay. So, very gently... Because you'll notice how I made, over here I made a white hole to the white screw, green spot to the green screw. Because every one of these parts in this machine on the Sears diagram has a different part number for every screw. So I don't know how specific they are. All right, now. There, ooh, there it goes. Okay, now. She's a bugger. It's moving. Man alive. Let me put a little more blue creeper down that hole so we can lubricate that shaft or rod. Yeah, it's definitely, the screws are not binding up because I can see that that is actually quite empty in there. They're not hitting the side. But I will loosen this green one, just in case. Lefty loosey. Alright, well, I think I got enough out of the way, so I think we'll be okay. Now, to get this rod out, this spindle. This is the next thing I have to get out, which is this. Oh, look at that. It's starting to go. It's starting to go. Now, oh, can I move it all the way over here? Yeah. I still think we have to get this whole piece out of the way. This piece, I haven't been able to figure out how the hell to get this out. I mean, I tried loosening this bolt. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Hold on. I was trying to get this rod out, which really just ends here, and it hits upon this lever, which pushes the rod back and forth. I tried loosening this bolt to slide it out, but it's not having it. I don't know. I have no idea. It just seems very strange. I don't know if if this bolt is on the wrong side, but it seems like that makes more sense because you don't want the bolt backing off and screwing everything up and having a nut fall in there and jam everything. So, anywho's. I think we just have to be patient and gentle. Let me get my my bigger screwdriver and maybe my hammer. All right, flathead. There it goes. Yeah, there she goes. Yeah, okay. That was it. A little bit more. All right, that should, yes. Okay. All right, there you go. So looking at this sits on top of the zigzag regulator and that little type of hole there. This piece attaches to your needle bar arm here, and this piece sits on top of whatever you want to call that. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to put that on the side because I don't want to lose that. Or the screws. Now let me just take a look closely. Ah! Now that is interesting. I hope you guys can see that. But on this particular rod here, there is an indent in here. It's like a cut, probably from the screw that sits in it. Yeah, and then the other part has a little, just like a pressure point. But this actually has like a little slice in there. Very interesting. Okay. All right, onward ho. Put that up there. Now for this thing. All right. So now we got this. There is a little tiny snap spring in here, which, so underneath this spindle, this is your spindle. So on the spindle, there was a screw, which I already took out, right, from behind the machine. And that access port, where you can see there's a little, see, just go in here, there's a little screw, took that out. So I got your spindle. You have the spring, which you can see right here, right, which moves back and forth. And then underneath that spring is a snap spring. And then the snap spring sits on top of this little black plate with this little open end here. Now getting that snap spring, sorry, to get that off, that is my question. How are we going to get the snap spring off? I have little dental tools here. I got this type of end, this type of end. I got this little set off of Amazon, which has this brand name. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it comes with 3 sets of dental picks. So you have the one I just showed you. Then you have this one with a little bit of a flat edge, right? Kind of like a spoon. And then you have this one here. And then last but not least, you have this flat edge and this flat edge, which is a little bit of an angle to it. So we're gonna see which one I possibly need. I might need this one. So if I work my way underneath the snap spring and hopefully work that up. And this is tough because it's such a small spot. Oh, I think I just got it. just get that loose? Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's pretty far out. Yeah. What the? Yeah, don't stab yourself in the finger. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try using the flat one. And see. Oh, there it goes. Now, if I can loosen that to the point where I can get that. Actually, I don't even think you need to take that off. Honestly, that's just keeping the spring on the underneath the top of the pin. I don't think you even need to take that off. All right, well, let's go see. No, okay, it's getting loose. So I might be able to just get the whole head out now. Yes, it's going. It's going. We're winning. We're winning. There it is. All right, there's our zigzag cam gear. Son of a gun. You see the head of it? Right over here. All right, I just have to figure out how to pop this whole thing out. Or if I go under the set spring, is that wise? Oh, yes, that's wise. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, when I take this out, I just want to make sure. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. All right, so looking at this, okay, yeah. So this snap spring, you got your spring, snap, spring. Okay. That is going to stay as one piece. So that's good. So I can just pull this whole spindle out and voila. Oh yeah, see, there was no way we were going to get that out. There is a bolt underneath here which you can't even access, because if you look into the sewing machine, right, there's no way to access it because it's right on top of this worm gear, I think they call it. But there we go, we got it. Oh my God, you can't believe how happy I am about that. All right, now we got to get the actual zigzag cam gear out of here. All right, there is a screw, which now you have to access from the back. Okay, so let me turn you this way. All right, so you see back here, this is where we took out the screw to remove the spindle, okay? Now we have to access this screw, which is going to hold the zigzag cam gear in, I believe. I'm going to take you out of the stand for a second, so hold on. So now I have it turned on its side so you can kind of see in the back. Now, this was the top hole here. This is what we took the spindle out of. This is the hole just below it that you need to get this little tiny screw. I don't know if you're going to be able to see in there. It's very hard to see. It's kind of dark. But believe me, there's a little screw in there. So hopefully now, that's my next part, to get that out. So I'll try and set you up over here. Well, I'm going to try to take this screw out and get back to you. I hate to turn this camera on because everybody's going to get dizzy. All right, so hold on a second. Okay, so you'll probably see when I put my screwdriver through the hole, you see, here's the head, right? the blade going all the way in. Now, in this little dark spot here, hopefully I can get you in there. You can actually start to see where am I? Yeah, so much stuff in here. It's hard to get the camera in there so you can actually see it. But you can actually peek in there and you're going to see the head of the set screw. As long as you release that, and like I just loosened it now, so I'm hoping that this will now come right out. I heard it's a pain to get out. So I'm going to wrestle with it just a little bit and bring you back. Okay, upon further investigation, once you get the back screw release off the cam, you have to go to the underside. You have this little port hole right here. There's a screw in here. You gotta loosen that one too. All right, hold on. All right, so try to figure out how to get the one that's in there out of there. So I'm looking at the replacement that I had bought years ago, which ended up being for a different one machine altogether. I think it was for the 158. Now, this is the top, which we're looking at, okay? And then the bottom, when you look through that hole underneath the neck of the machine, I guess you want to call it, it looks like that. But it's not a screw, even though it looks like one. So the set screw we just replaced by accessing the back of the machine. So the theory is once you get the set screw out, which I will show you here. All right, once you remove the set screw, this whole piece should just come right out of that little barrel, and that's what you're left with. See, there's a little flat spot, so the set screw prevents it from yanking out of that. So I'm wondering why it's not budging out of this one. So let me play with it a little bit more and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, upon closer inspection, I think this particular cam has a snap spring on it also. Hold on, let me get you in here. Okay, so if you look really closely, you see how the black ring just kind of stops and then there's like a gap here. So I think there's a set spring holding this whole thing in. So I think we have to take the set spring out in order to get the head to come off. It's a theory, so I'm going to put you in the stand and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Now, of course, it's going to be a little hard to see. And I got to go very, very slowly. I can feel the lip there. I don't feel as if it wants to come up though. Oh man. Does it? It just keeps moving around. All right, I know it came up a little bit, so give it a couple little taps just to see if it moved at all. How do we get that shaft out? That is the question. All right, let's try this pick. I'm also dealing with minimal tools here. hollow? Let me try using a screwdriver maybe and see what happens here. Nah. It's a turn-in. We'll get you in there a little bit more maybe. I don't want to create an issue. It's got a little bit of play in it. All right, I'm going to ask some of my repair friends and see. Ooh, there's some crustiness in there. Ugh, gross. Jeez, what is that? Ooh. You see that? I don't know what that is. What the? Ooh. Well, whatever it is, there's lots in there. Maybe it's... Yeah, what the heck? Ugh. All right, I'm going to pause here and get some insight from my colleagues, and we'll resume with number 6. All right.